Welcome to the channel, my friends. Now, when you think of Africa, you might think of, well, you probably don't think about gender ratios, do you? No, you're thinking lions, elephants, maybe a dictator or two. But today we're diving deep into something fascinating, the gender imbalance across this diverse continent. Get this, in many African countries, it's the ladies who rule the demographic roost. We're talking more women than men, so buckle up as we journey through 10 African nations where the sisterhood reigns supreme. And hey, if you dig deep dives into cultures you thought you knew, hit that subscribe button. It's free, unlike that cousin who always hits you up for a loan. Our first stop is Namibia, a country known for its breathtaking landscapes. You've got the Namib Desert, the oldest in the world, stretching along the coast. Inland, you've got savannas teeming with wildlife. It's basically a screensaver come to life. But here's the twist. Namibia also boasts a higher female population. Now, this wasn't always the case. You see, like many nations in southern Africa, Namibia was deeply affected by the HIV/AIDS epidemic, and tragically, men often bore the brunt of this disease. Cultural factors also play a role. Traditionally, women in Namibia have held strong positions within their communities. They're often the backbone of families and businesses. So when you think of Namibia, don't just think deserts and diamonds, think women power. Next, we're heading to Lesotho, a landlocked kingdom completely surrounded by South Africa. Imagine a country that's basically one giant mountain range. That's Lesotho for you. It's nicknamed the Kingdom in the Sky, and trust me, the views are breathtaking. But just like its mountainous terrain, Lesotho's demographics are also unique. Women here outnumber men, and there are a few reasons for this. One major factor is migration. Many men from Lesotho travel to neighboring South Africa for work, particularly in the mining industry. This leaves behind a population with a higher concentration of women. They're the heart and soul of Lesotho, keeping traditions alive and striving for a brighter future. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're off to Botswana, a country that's practically synonymous with diamonds. And you know what else is plentiful in Botswana? You guessed it, women. They're outnumbering men here, and it's a trend with deep roots. Now, Botswana has one of the strongest economies in Africa, thanks in part to those sparkly diamonds. But here's the thing. Historically, men have dominated the mining industry. This has led to many men leaving their communities to work in the mines, often leaving women to hold down the fort back home. Botswana has also made significant strides in education and healthcare, particularly for women. They're not just wives and mothers. They're entrepreneurs, educators, and change makers. Chapter 4. Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland, small kingdom, big impact, even bigger female presence. Get ready to say Sawubona as we step into Eswatini. This tiny landlocked kingdom is often overlooked on the map, but trust me, it's bursting with culture, and yes, you guessed it, women. Eswatini has a higher female population, and this demographic quirk goes hand in hand with its history and traditions. You see, in Swazi culture, women hold a special place. They're seen as the keepers of tradition, the heart of the family, and often the driving force behind businesses. Despite challenges, Swazi women are known for their resilience, their entrepreneurial spirit, and their deep connection to their heritage. They're weavers, farmers, business owners, and community leaders all rolled into one. Chapter 5, South Africa, the rainbow nation where women shine brightest. Hold on to your vuvuzelas because we're heading to South Africa, the rainbow nation. This country's got it all: stunning landscapes, vibrant cities, a complex history, and yes, you know where I'm going with this, more women than men. Now, South Africa's gender gap is a nuanced issue, influenced by a mix of social, economic, and historical factors. One major factor is the legacy of apartheid. This brutal system often forced men into migrant labor, leaving women behind to care for their families and communities. South African women are not just survivors, they're fighters. They're challenging norms, breaking down barriers, and shaping the future of their nation. Chapter 6, Zimbabwe, Victoria Falls, isn't the only thing flowing, so are the demographics. Next up, we're off to Zimbabwe, home to the majestic Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. But Zimbabwe's beauty goes beyond its landscapes. It's also a country where women are a force to be reckoned with, literally outnumbering men. Zimbabwe, much like its neighbours, has faced its fair share of challenges, from economic hardship to political turmoil, and as is often the case, women have borne the brunt of these hardships. But here's the thing about Zimbabwean women: they're not just surviving, they're thriving. They're the backbone of their communities, holding families together and driving social change. Chapter 7. Mozambique, beaches, beauty, and a surplus of strong women. Pack your bags, we're heading to Mozambique, a country on the southeastern coast of Africa. Think stunning beaches, turquoise waters, and a culture that's as warm as the Indian Ocean breeze. But Mozambique is also a place where women hold a unique position, often outnumbering men. Now, this gender imbalance isn't just a random occurrence, it's deeply intertwined with Mozambique's history and social dynamics. Mozambique, like many African nations, was ravaged by a civil war that lasted for years, and as is tragically common in times of conflict, men were often on the front lines, leading to a disproportionate loss of life among the male population. But here's the thing about Mozambican women: they're survivors. They're the heart and soul of their communities, running businesses, farming the land, and keeping traditions alive. Chapter 8. Malawi, the warm heart of Africa, where women make it beat. Get ready to be charmed, because we're visiting Malawi, a small but mighty nation often called the warm heart of Africa. And trust me, the people here are as warm and welcoming as the name suggests. But Malawi also has a unique demographic: more women than men. Malawi, like many countries in the region, has faced challenges with poverty, healthcare, and education. And sadly, these challenges often disproportionately affect men, leading to higher mortality rates and shorter lifespans. But here's the thing about Malawian women: they're incredibly resilient. They're the backbone of their families, the engine of the economy, and the heart of their communities. Chapter 9. Zambia. From copper mines to a copper-bottomed truth, women run this place. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're flying over to Zambia, a landlocked country in southern Africa. Zambia is known for its stunning natural beauty, from the mighty Victoria Falls to its vast national parks teeming with wildlife. But Zambia also holds a hidden gem: its women. For years, men have dominated the workforce, particularly in the copper mining industry, which is a major source of revenue for the country. This has often led to men leaving their rural communities to seek work in the mines, leaving behind a population with a higher concentration of women. Zambian women are not just holding down the fort back home, they're breaking down barriers and making their mark in all spheres of life. They're entrepreneurs, educators, healthcare workers, and community leaders, proving that they're a force to be reckoned with. Chapter 10. Angola, oil, diamonds, and a whole lot of women power. Get ready for some sunshine, because our final stop takes us to Angola, a country on the west coast of southern Africa. Angola is known for its beautiful beaches, its vibrant culture, and its rich natural resources, including oil and diamonds. But Angola also holds another treasure: its women. Like many countries in the region, it has witnessed significant migration patterns, with men often moving to urban areas or neighboring countries in search of work. This has left behind a population with a higher proportion of women, particularly in rural areas. But hold on, Angolan women are not just holding down the fort, they're shaping the future of their nation. They're entrepreneurs, farmers, community leaders, and activists, working tirelessly to improve their lives and the lives of those around them. And there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through 10 African countries where women not only hold their own, but often outnumber the men. We've seen breathtaking landscapes, sure, but more importantly, we've witnessed the strength, resilience, and power of women across this diverse continent. Remember, these gender imbalances are complex. They're born from history, shaped by social norms and influenced by economic realities. But one thing is clear: African women are not defined by these statistics. They're the backbone of their families, the heart of their communities, and the future of Africa. Let's keep the conversation going.